You're confident every time you go out there that you would have like a Netflix airable type show?
This is not the most scared. It was the most pressure. It was by far the most pressure we've ever had because we've done hundreds of shows together, ranging from really great to pretty good. But like never any bombs anymore because we've been doing it for 20 years. But like still, like there's a range of like we'll come off stage sometimes and be like, we didn't like that show. We could have done better, but we'll get harder on ourselves. So now it's like, it doesn't matter how many good shows you've ever had. You only have 4 shots. Like, so we filmed 4 and we aired 3. And Netflix is like, this is it. Whatever happens, happens. You just got to hope that 3 out of those 4 are airable. And you got to hope that the person, like the first show, which is the one we cut for a bunch of reasons. One is we were figuring out how to do the cameras. The other one is we didn't quite learn how to get the boom mic to the audience member in time. So that first one doesn't have great audio of the person that we were interviewing. And also the first guy's interview, although maybe we will air it one day, was about how he's like, what are you dreading or looking forward to? He's like, my girlfriend is leaving her boyfriend right now, literally right now, to come live with me. And her boyfriend has cancer. And we're like, what? And like, so it's like an uncomfortable thing. But the idea of improv is, all right, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And we've had stuff about death. We've had stuff about people being pregnant, being very scared about being mother. We've had like real stuff. And they seem to always like work out because we won't ever dive into our show won't be about we try our best not to be fucked up. You know what I mean? So I remember that. So that when that was happening, but our show isn't about that. But I was like, man, if this is the first show that people see and it's right off the bat, this guy is like, you're like, this is not the best dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that show ended up really fun too. And Tom, there's a piece of Thomas that's like, we should edit that one together too. But
I mean, now that like, I think it's a success. What's the response been like in general? Do you
critically, the response has been great. Yeah. Like better than, I got emotional the first day that we got reviews and people talking about it. It was like emotional for me because imagine doing something for 20 years that nobody really sees outside of when you go on. First of all, I've been doing it for free for 18 years. Then we just started touring. We just started doing this thing at Largo. And like, so each time I did it at UCB, 100 people would see it. Even if I did 100 sold out shows, it's like, now we're touring. Now we have thousands of people seeing it, but it's the same thing. Once we leave that theater, nobody in the streets know who the hell, what we just did.
Right.
So it's like, it was such a big deal for now millions of people could see it. But now so critically it's great, but we don't get more specials unless a lot of people watch it. So now we wait to see if we get the green light.
Keep those retweets going, man. Just keep fucking shamelessly promoting.
It feels so dirty. Space Force is coming out on Netflix too, and I think that'll help. Space Force and Middleditch and Schwartz being on the same platform, I think hopefully will help somehow.
Get that rhythm going.
But that's our baby. Middleditch and Schwartz is our baby. It's like
it was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
I know
when it came
crazy.
out.
The response has been crazy, and also it's slowly gaining steam, is what we heard. Like every day, more people watch it. Like more people than the last day have watched it.
Because there's still that barrier. Like improv, you guys are doing like a service to that craft or whatever, because it's like you're already kind of signing up for something that's a little bit, unique. So it's gonna you're kind of pioneers in that sense.
Well, you explained it really well, and I will take the being shit on that. Oftentimes in people who watch stand-up, when you talk about improv, it's like the butt of the joke, or like you'll be like, oh God, we got to go to an improv show. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think you explained that correctly, because outside of the people who do it, that's the sense of what improv is a little bit, because they've only seen like class shows. And there's never been there's been very few specials. I did one for Showtime. Ask Cat did 1 or 2. TJ and Dave, who are legendary Chicago improvisers, have a documentary. But there's so few, as opposed to stand-up, you can see 1 billion stand-up specials. You can also go to huge theaters and see stand-up, when for long-form improv, there's very few people who go to big theaters to do it. So it's like, there's nowhere to point. So the only reference that people have is class shows, or people who've kind of been doing it, you know what I mean? And not like watching Kevin Hart do stand-up or watch Chappelle do stand-up, you know what I mean?